Hello, leaders, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So I'm here again with Joshua Evans, the CEO of Culture Consulting Associates, and we're coming to you live from HR Houston, or the Gulf Coast Symposium. And today we're going to talk a little bit about, we're continuing our talk on the Josh and Paul show. I should get that right?
The Josh and Paul show.
And we're continuing our talk on culture and organizational culture. And today, I heard Josh speak today, and the cool thing was that he came up with this point in his speech about tailoring your message to your people. And Josh, can you talk to us a little bit about tailoring your message? Because I thought it was great.
Well, thank you. It's really essential. If you're going to be really effective in communicating to another person, you have to know how they want to communicate. And this goes beyond like what method of communication, right? Like some people prefer to text, some people prefer to have a phone call or an email or in person. It's beyond that. What it really is people digest information differently. And so I'll give you an example. I have two sons, right? And they both love to eat carrots, but one of them only loves to eat raw carrot and the other one only loves to eat boiled carrots. And so you know what? I know I want them both to have beta carotene. And so I will boil some of the carrots and I will keep some of the carrots raw. So I know that that's how they digest the carrots. That's how they prefer to ingest, I guess, the carrots. And so when we're talking to somebody, we need to know how that person likes to ingest information, right? Do they want facts and figures? Do they want to have a story associated with it? I think the DISC does a great job of helping you understand the other individual, and that'll let you tailor the message more specifically, right? So I'm an I. So stories speak very, very profoundly to me. Facts and figures, you will lose me very quickly, and I'll dislike talking to you if that's what you do, right? If you force me to be very specific in a conversation, if you force me to really dive into the details, I'm not going to want to do that. And so that's not how I prefer to communicate. So if you want to be the most effective with me, you need to come to the story. You need to listen to what I have to say, for one thing, obviously. But you also need to come with a story. And it behooves all of us. And I keep using the word behoove. But I think it really is beneficial for all of us to keep in mind how others want to communicate. So if we're going to tailor a message to somebody, it really needs to be the way in which they can ingest the information. And so a great example I use, Paul, is that we used to give directions to people. And so we all take directions differently. And so if I was going to give my father directions to go to somebody's house, I would say, hey, come out of your neighborhood, take a left on Oak, go down 2.5 miles, take a right on Elm, go down a quarter of a mile to the first stop sign and take a left on Sycamore. And it's the fourth house on Sycamore, and the address is 1412 Sycamore.
Man, I tuned off when you said take a left or right on Oak or left on Oak. All right,
see,
I tuned out.
See, and people digest this information differently. So here... And I could give that directions to my dad. He would find it immediately. Perfect. Thanks, son. He'd get there. But I could tell my wife the same exact direction. She's like, what the heck are you talking about? I have no idea how to get there.
That's what I
Well, here's how I would give the information to my wife. I'd go, hey, honey, go out of our neighborhood, take a left. Right? Go down until you see the super target, and then take a right. Then go to that first stop sign right next to the park where the ducks are. Take a left. And it's the fourth house on the right, and it's got the blue door.
There you go. I'm there.
Yeah,
now I can follow those directions.
See, everybody takes information differently, and if we can be cognizant of how they digest that information and how they want to take it, then it makes us a lot more effective in what we're trying to get across.
That's perfect. I love it. Great example too.
Yeah.
And I agree. The DISC is, for all my listeners out there, I talk a lot about the DISC, and it's such a valuable tool. I use it with every one of my clients, and I know, Josh, you've talked to a lot of people who have used it. I know you've taken the DISC as well, and so I refer to this as speaking each other's language, and the DISC allows us, we could both be speaking English, but we might as well be speaking Greek to each other if we're not speaking to each other's language. That's
very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Well, and you see this manifested in lots of different ways, right? They talk about love languages, right? My wife's love language is homemade stuff from her boys, right? Or videos of little moments from them. It's not buying her big extravagant gifts. Thank goodness, because I'd rather not spend the money on material goods like that. But it's really interesting how it speaks to so many different things. My mother's love language is food, right? And so we all have these different languages and all different sorts of things. And it's not just, and once again, not just love, right? But if we're trying to compel somebody, or we're trying to talk to somebody, if we're trying to communicate effectively, we need to know how that person wants to communicate. And that's where the real rubber meets the road.
Yeah, I think my love language would be food too. And you are a master grill master, so
thank you very much.
I know you can grill out some good steaks and fish and stuff. So hey, let's wrap it up right there, and we'll continue this talk tomorrow. And hey, if you have any questions for Josh, how can people get a hold of you, Josh?
You can just check out my website. It's joshuamevans.com, or you can check me on any social media at enthusiasticyou, YOU, or heck, check out my podcast. My podcast is the Corporate Culture Cleaner Show, and you can get that on any of the platforms that you listen to a podcast.
Corporate Culture Cleaner. Now, how about Alexa? Are you on Alexa yet?
No.
All right. He needs to get on Alexa for all my Alexa listeners.
Sorry, Alexa people.
But check him out. Great podcast, great guy, and he's got a lot of very interesting and powerful information for you to listen to. So have a great day, and until next time, run to your challenges.